All right, and we're live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, getting my second cardio session in. Obviously, we won't get 3 hours a day, not going to happen, but we'll get at least two. I've got my breakfast cooking in the Instapot, chicken, broccoli, rice. Breakfast of champions right there. Tons of fasted cardio, tons of loose cardio, and bro dieting. That is how I'm slowly leaning out. I finished the vlog for today. It will be up here in a bit, obviously. Um, it's just rendered and everything. I got to make a little thumbnail, get it uploaded. Yeah, adjustments in the training, doing some old school classic bodybuilding training, which still means we go heavy on the squat, bench, and deadlift, or definitely the squat and the deadlift, because that's how old school guys train. Right? We pointed that out too, didn't we? Right? Classic bodybuilders all had big squat benches and deadlifts. Some of them had ridiculous ones. Right? Like even Reg Park supposedly pulled 700, had a 600 squat, 700 deadlift. We saw him floor press 500. I mean, those guys were strong. They were super strong back in that era. So they did those things heavy. And we still see Michael Hearn training like that. Still has that classic look. He really kind of does, doesn't he? Right? It looks very similar to those guys. So that's what I'm going to do. Keep dieting down, keep training for that, and get leaner and leaner and leaner. But yeah, I'm going to push the pullovers really, really hard. Pullovers and dips, I think both. They're really going to help with that. Need to get those triceps up, that long head. But yeah, guys, so hopefully this one does as well as the last one. We got a pretty good amount of views. We got super chats in the last one. Remember to click a like, by the way, guys. Also, I've got my Amazon wish list. Anyone wants to help me on this? No, you guys don't have to. Someone chimed in. How come you have some of the stuff in that list? It's not fitness, because it's for other people too. But no, anyone who wants to help along on the journey, my protein, creatine, all that's in there. All right. I've considered throwing a multi back in. I have a little bit of one left. I could have that. Even though I'm eating tons of vegetables and I don't need it, it's almost that case of, would it be beneficial while in a big deficit, even though I don't have deficiencies? Maybe. I'll have to think about it. Those are all supplements that I think people don't really have issues with, though. We start talking what? Protein, creatine, fish oil, multivitamins. That's the basics, and beyond that, nothing else really makes sense, does it? Everything else is a scam. But I'll occasionally use all of those, right? Those are not necessarily scams. Might be some of them are situationally useful. And that's our context, situationally useful. All right. But yeah, got a decent number of views in here. Get the likes up. Let's get the comments, guys. Get some engagement. Get the likes. Get the comments going. Let's get this flowing. All right. Let's get it lively so that I stay motivated and active in here. All right. Keep it flowing. In the meantime, let's check a couple other things here. All right. People are liking the updated pictures. Of course, you guys see the thumbnail. That's just a normal snapshot. There's nothing crazy. It's just my snapshots from the training vlog. So you guys see the footage. When people see the footage later, they realize, oh, no, that really is how I'm looking. Hello, boss. Here, what inspired you to come back to full body? That's a good question, Gianmarco. I was thinking about it a while back. I was looking at some different data. I was looking at stuff that some of the people were writing about frequency. I'm like, man, I used to push the whole full body thing. I got really strong. It's not like I didn't look pretty decent when I first started. I was starting to get slightly aesthetic before I pushed the powerlifting more and let my weight come up. Like if you guys saw the early channel stuff, you guys remember that stuff? I was doing all full body again. I'm like, let me try it again. Let me see if I'm wrong about the frequency. Because I still see certain people saying, look, man, that higher frequency with the volume a little lower works really well. There's some data on it. I see even scientists arguing it. But it did work back in the day. Those guys trained that way. They didn't split anything up. And as much as I program a lot of splits and enjoy them, let's give it a try again. Do I really have anything to lose with it as long as I keep my fatigue management good? Plus, it lets me really hit muscles frequently. Lifts that I really want to work on, like the pullover, the barbell curl, man, I can do them every workout. Right. So that's a big part of it. And I'm like, so let's see if I was wrong. Let's test old school Blaha versus newer school Blaha. No, I'm doing 4 or 5 days, dude. I mean, I could cut it to 3 days and be just fine. But because of what I'm doing for the calorie burn and everything, I'm going to do 4 to 5. I'll take a day off in the week if I feel like I need one. But I'm going to schedule 5 and always get at least 4. Now let's get over to Jay's question here. Hit that like button, by the way, guys. 2 of you asking questions, 1 like. With chin-ups, dips, incline pullovers, rows and curls, and some delt work be good basic outline for upper body. Let me look at that over. Chins, dips, pullover. I don't know about the incline. Why not just do a normal? Oh, incline and pullovers. Rows and curls? Yeah, that's a lot, dude. Like, that's more than sufficient. I mean, I like the flat bench, but if you really, really like incline, the dips will still cover the whole pec major. Right? I think you're still good there. Right? Got client stuff. That's the only thing that's when I'm sitting at the desk, all my client messages pop up and I can't move where they appear, unfortunately. So they actually literally, my client messages cover up my actual questions on the bottom part of the screen. No, I think that looks pretty reasonable, honestly. You got chins and rows for back. You got incline and dips for chest. You got the pullover, some curl. I think you're good, dude. I think you're good, Jay. My issue with full body, though, guys, I'm struggling to read these. You guys will bump your questions because I'm going to have client messages coming through. So it's going to always be hard to read the last question because, like, Gustav's literally sending me video after video, and they're going to keep popping up. The issue with full body, though, is you don't have a lot of time between workouts and can't really push lower body as hard. I used to do full body 2 times a week and felt lower body was a bit. Well, it's because you're only doing 2 times a week, bro. You can't train twice a week and expect to make gains in general, Jay. 2 times a week is kind of not a lot. 3 is almost your baseline. But yeah, so the thing is you always you do lower body first. Just like what I'm doing right now, I either squat or I deadlift first, right? And then I do calves and stuff later in the workout. Gianno Marco says, I think full body is great when some muscles have lower priority and some have higher. Getting big overall can be a problem if you are advanced. Well, that's going to be the thing, Gio. I'm slightly deprioritizing the lower body in the sense that I'm just going to squat or deadlift each time. Makes sense. My lower body is jacked. And so if I'm going to kind of do the old school, they didn't have overdeveloped lower bodies like current bodybuilders. They had way more aesthetic lower bodies. They were still strong. Tons of those guys are squatting 500 plus. But then we also come to that question, yeah, lower body is going to get deprioritized even on something like that. But if you're still squatting 500, is it okay? And if you need to go peak for a powerlifting meet, then you can go ahead and do some extra lower body work. So I think that's kind of the idea for something like that when you're chasing aesthetics. And that's the whole point for that type of classic physique. But we still squat and deadlift. We still train lower body. But you get to a point where you go, do you want current pro bodybuilder quads? And I don't think that we do with the big rectus femoris and everything. It doesn't look good. And the same thing, you can still add, you'll still get the lower body caught back up. If you need more lower body, throw posterior chain stuff in. If you want big squats and deadlifts, I think full body works well, but it's really hard to push everything hard. You just have to watch the volume of everything each workout. That's the key, Jay. It's not hard. You have to organize it. Jason Blaha, thoughts on the new Superman movie? I haven't even heard about it yet. Jay, can you program in a way that some sessions have some priority at the end of the day, not everything is getting it? Well, it can be, what do you mean? No, I don't really understand your question, actually. Yeah. Oh, Jay, you can, I think you're asking a question. The way that some sessions have some priority at the end of the day, not everything has to be hit in a super specific. And I have no problem with either one. I've got people great results in upper lowers. I have 2. I used to do full body, did good. Full upper lower works. I mean, again, we come back over to what builds champions. Plenty of strength athletes have done amazingly well on upper lowers. Is that a movie or is that a video game, my mom? Because I don't play video games anymore, so I'm not sure. Is that a movie or a video game? Resident Evil 9. Video game. I don't have thoughts on it. I don't have time for video games. They're a massive time sink. They eat into your money. They eat into your life. I just have no use for them anymore at this point in my life. And I probably never will again. Right? I've said that numerous times on all my social media, and people don't like it. I've broken it down. I'm like, guys, I think guys should probably largely avoid them. It's just unproductive, waste of time. I like splits, not necessarily bro splits, even if upper lower hybrids, because I like to know that I go to the gym to hit something specific, and then with a personal preference come into play. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. And that's a matter of philosophy. It's a matter of what you're enjoying and what gets your mindset correct. And I think that's what we have to look at with any sort of split setup. What is working for your mindset? Because your mindset's what's going to matter. And I feel like for me, then I don't have to think about what I'm working. Because that's the problem I started running into with upper lower again. Right? Right? What's that then? That I kept wanting to work extra upper body stuff in because I know some of my upper body needs more priority than my legs. It's definitely be an addiction for many people. I agree, Jay. Have you seen Mark Belch? No, but I've already covered the stupidity of it. So a guy on lots of drugs is doing another extreme diet and getting really ripped again. So what do we mean by progress? I guess he's progressing in that he's promoting a less dangerous extreme diet. He's promoting a diet that's going to kill people, but not as many people as the last stupid one he promoted. Of course he's getting lean. He's on an extremely restrictive diet, restricting calories and taking fat burning drugs. I mean, but don't people get shredded doing regular bro diets too all the time? So what is the point? What are we looking for here? It doesn't make it less stupid. Thoughts on sushi? Fish is disgusting. Next. I thought you were in the mindset of going to the old school route, pullovers and recros, so whole body makes sense. Exactly, and that was the point, Gio. It was all about that mindset, right? I mean, if he's burning through enough energy, sure, C-Merc. But again, how many fat burners is he running with it? Yeah, I don't really see the big deal with Mark Bell. It just seems like another fake, dumb Jim Bro scam artist, pretty much. I mean, right? I mean, follow him if you want, but I mean, it's just more scam. Everything he does is crazy, Dad. But here's your problem. You're really going to take him seriously when he pushed the carnivore forever. Got ripped on carnivore, sold it, marketed it, made money on it, pushed it like it was, the thing. And then he goes the other opposite extreme on another unhealthy extreme diet. And he's going to market that and make more money. So what happened to all his carnivore fanaticism? As soon as he found something on the opposite extreme to make money, he just flips. Come on, dude. Just stop. Just stop nut hugging this nonsense. All right. What's missing is the Widowmakers. Gio, don't think I didn't think about that. I absolutely considered the Widowmakers. Man, my God, are they hard, though. If I do, I'd try it with 315. Whew. All right, if these guys weren't on gear. I mean, yeah, the sort of diet he's doing, he needs plenty of gear. All right. I'm over here just doing the old school cut. All 200 tests. That's everything, by the way. That is my entire stack, 200 test set. You can get that from your doctor. That's my whole stack, dude. All of it. And I do mean all of it. All right. I hate it when I say that and people say, well, what about your A? Did I say an AI? They're like, what about Primo? Did I say Primo? What about that? Did I say clone? Like that's why I say that and people don't understand when I say all of it, I do literally mean that. That's the entire thing. 200 test set once a week. That's it. All right. Widowmakers and pullovers, man, that's tough. I'm not supersetting them like that though. But that was definitely an old school thing. All right, you do a widowmaker and then do a pullover right after the failure. Anybody definitely went on gear early on. I remember him when he first got on YouTube. He looked like a typical teenager. He goes to the gym, did this massive transformation. Yep. I've never played Call of Duty, my mom, so I can't tell you, man. Hey, what does that have to do with fitness and deadlifts and getting jacked and cotton diesel and strong? What does that have to do with anything that we do on this channel? I don't even video games, so why would you bring this nonsense up, my mom? I'll take the engagement. So we get those likes up, by the way, though, guys. Yeah, widowmaker squats and pullovers. How about I don't? How about I do something productive with my life and make some money or enjoy time with people I care about? The bronze and silver era were big on the chest expander. The chest expander doesn't work. No, they weren't all. Tons of them didn't do it. A little side niche did. So let's not bring that stupid stuff in Alpha Destiny. I'm not going to start pimping that nonsense. They used basic equipment. That's the main thing they really had is they really just had body weight exercises, barbells, dumbbells, plates, racks. And they made amazing progress. Jay, if you see one who has insane transformation, can you always say it's a sign of gear use? I don't think we can disregard the underweight people. An insane transformation, that's drugs. Right? But usually, yeah. So yeah, a really skinny guy stacking on 35 pounds of lean mass is drugs. All right. Even in that case. But barring, yeah, the really fat guy all of a sudden making a magic transformation, that's different because anyone lifting weights and losing 100 pounds of body fat and having abs is possible, you know. Yeah. Yeah, they don't look right. Yeah, it's drugs. But Jay, it's like everyone's on gear anyways. Like that, I don't see why people don't get this. Like, how can this younger generation have been around lifting and not realize most of the dudes in your gym, it's so common and it's so normal in the lifting world that it's just so funny that all these dudes with great results market that they're natural. But when I came up, like we all knew, the other guys will tell you who are in their 40s, everyone was really open about it when we were younger. The whole fake natty thing on the internet made people change. So everyone's like, everyone's open about it now. No, they aren't. They're not more open than they were back in the day. We had a whole phase where the internet created this fake natty thing. Dudes that we all would have just known were on gear back in the day because everyone just kind of, when all the bros talked, they all admitted it. You know, it was just so normal. At the end of the day, resistance is resistance, but staying with old school stuff can put you in the mindset. Yeah. You got to reach results with basic stuff. You've got to put in work. All your stabilizers are going to get work too. You're going to get neural drive. You're going to get all that. Yeah, I've never touched gear, but it's insane. It's always been like, Jay, this is not a new thing, dude. When I was young, it was the norm. Like, dude, half the dudes in my gym, my first gym, were on gear. And some of them weren't that big. Everyone was talking, yeah, dude, I'm a little like, you know, there were guys who were, 175 with a little bit of ab, not shredded, yeah, I'm 600 milligrams. So it was normal. Yeah, video games are a waste of time. This guy's just going to keep obsessing with it, hoping I'm going to give him a different answer. I wasted way too much time on that stuff. Get those likes up, though, guys. This one's not going to be as good as that last one. There was a guy I knew from the gym in 2019. He went on his first cycle. He took his max bench at 315 within 6 months, getting over 10. I've never seen that sort of results, honestly, Jay. To me, that's not actually the normal. But maybe he used a lot of gear. But a guy benching 315 doing one cycle, I've already benching 315 going to 10. I've literally never seen that happen in my life. I've seen them where they're doing 5 or 6. I've just never observed that. I didn't get those, My first cycle, I probably put about 30 pounds on my bench, about 50 pounds on my squat, like 25 on my deadlift. I got bigger, but it wasn't, I didn't take like whatever 405 or a double squat and squat 600, Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea what he was doing, but it was nothing. But it was like a massive transformation. He gained like 50 plus. Wow. Okay. That's crazy. He did something extreme. Okay, so that's different. My first was 450 milligrams. It was 250 test, 200 deca. That was my first. For 10 weeks. So different world. Right? Maybe that's why I'm still alive and kicking. Jerry Ward was doing like 2 grams, admittedly, plus all the growth and IGF-1, and I'm over here like, dude, 500's a really good blast, I wasn't super close to remember seeing him and talking about his change in that time. He's probably doing a lot. Yeah, let's talk about training guys' gear, because gear is just it's just a supplement to stuff. It should never be the driver. So I always tell guys, use the minimum amount you need to reach your goals. I say that stuff all the time, and then everyone's like, "You better abuse it." I'm like, guys, I'm 48 and so healthy. You sure about that? I've always been a conservative. People used to make fun of my advice in groups because they're like, it's too little, it's not enough. Like, use the minimum amount you need for what you're trying to do. But you're right. It just is what it is. It's just an addition. It's not, shouldn't be the main focus. I agree. So let's talk training. I think you're talking to this ring as a person who is lifetime natural. Right? Fair enough. And I see no issue with that. Coach, which location do you think has the best? I don't know what that means. So, Steve, start that over. Are you talking about a video game, a movie? What is it? What does this mean? I don't understand the context for this. I don't know what a Centurion Lounge is. I think he's referring to American Express. I don't have any American Express. I don't know what he's talking about. All right. Are you rotating the first exercise? Yeah, I'm been rotating deadlift and squat, and I might not rotate them every time. I probably will. I can come in and squat twice if I want. That's pretty much what I've been doing. Jason, it's true. Most women are put off and slightly afraid of really muscular men. Not necessarily. They don't like overly shredded men. They don't like the super ripped. But so how are you defining muscular? Yeah. Well, Steve, if you're over here with all the Amex cards, drop me $100 super chat real quick. You balling like that. Talking about Amex business cards, drop Coach a super chat. Jump over to my Amazon wish list and buy me some stuff. Grab me a couple tubs of protein and some other stuff while you're over here talking about how you balling. All right? Dale Clark, depends on how you approach it. Jason, is it necessary to go as low as possible in pullovers? You should go as long as your range of motion allows, which is what I'm doing. So people see mine and it's not crazy deep. That's my full range of motion. I'm trying to improve it. Yeah, you should go as deep as you can. They don't like the look. Comment exactly, Alex. That's the point. Dale says, Jason Arnold said the dumbbell pullovers over the bench don't only work the lats. You want to say they expand the rib cage. That was a very, very common myth. I don't think it's actually true. That was extremely widely believed back then. And I used to do them, by the way, early on in my training. Used to believe in that, but I don't think there's evidence. I don't think that we can really do that. But it does build all the intercostals and serratus, which may help give an appearance of that. Coach, what's the best air conditioner brand for working out? I don't know. I don't have one. I have fans. I have no idea. I've never bought an air conditioner. Maybe you should ask someone who specializes in air conditioners. See why these silly questions don't work for my channel? I don't know. Stay on topic. Why would you think I know anything about air conditioners? Does my channel say Jason Blaha's air conditioning and heating? No. That's still not a workout question. I couldn't even name a brand of air conditioners. It's not a fitness question. All right, I think pullovers also stretch the shoulders. By improved posture, it makes it look like, and it could be that. They definitely stretch the shoulders. Yeah, it does get hot. I got fans in there, though. We just keep it real. I mean, I can't have the door open and, have it cool. If I want the door, I need the door open for lighting. Yeah, we're not necessarily, GOE and doing all that. Not that I haven't considered it. Chasing maxing on the fastest way to, still live. Of course we're still live. What means it's still live? Yeah, we're live, man. We're live and streaming. It might, but I would have to close and seal everything up. Right? It would have to be sealed. And then I got to cut. It's like I'm not set up for all that, guys. So, hey, Steve, since you're balling like that, though, man, you could donate a new house. How do you recover quickly? Part 2, huh? What do you mean? I'm used to doing this much cardio. I haven't even had breakfast yet. Right? We've not even had breakfast yet. So we're going to get our fasted cardio. We've already lifted. Uh-oh. Steve. I can't type. One of my regulars, Steve, is sending me something. He was just in here dropping supers earlier. Trying to type, but it's kind of hard to type on the bike. Jason, when you're biking right now, do you try to maintain a certain speed? I've tried to maintain a certain speed. Yeah, keep the same cadence. It's on a higher setting, so it's relatively hard. My whole body's sore from yesterday. Okay, we get in shape. Get your diet dialed in, get your programming dialed in, get everything going. It's still sprinkling out there, actually. I don't really get sore. My lats and triceps are getting sore from the pullovers lately. That's about it. Coach, is it raining in Houston? I don't know if it's raining in Houston. I don't live in Houston. I'm in Spring, actually. So I'm just north of Houston. Coach, thoughts on water beds after working out? I don't know anything about water beds. Scales at 213. Sorry, guys, I got messages popping up, so I can't read until they come coming through. There we go, 213. I don't think you can isolate glutes. All right, do you think the old school guys trained full body because there was reasoning behind it? I think they just came naturally to them, and I think it was just because, look, we come in and train the whole body. Splits came along later. Jay says, if I take time off from training, like going on a vacation, when I come back and hit pullovers, I get tons of DOMs in my long. Yeah, any sort of detraining is going to create DOMs big time easily, especially on stretch position movements. Yeah, things that will normally be prone to DOMs. It's absolutely going to happen. Yep. The other guy asked, we're sitting at 213 as of yesterday and today. Just keep keep bringing it down, get leaner. It's working, being consistent. I'm not doing anything unusual. It's not like I'm doing anything experimental. No crazy fad diet. We're just doing the old school way that guys got shredded forever. Bro diet, lots of list cardio, keep lifting hard. Right? I mean, can anyone argue against that? Everyone wants these other things. Oh, let's try the snake diet, the sugar diet, the carnivore. Whatever stopped guys from just literally doing bro diets, whatever, chicken, rice, vegetables, and doing lots of cardio? Yep. Coach, should I drink coffee before or during workout? I mean, I sip coffee during my workout. Jason, guy was looking to prioritize glute development with barbell hip thrusts, some sort of deep squat variation. Yeah, that would do it. What exercises work glutes but no quads? Reverse hyper, yeah. All the others are going to work quads. Glute bridges, hip thrusts, all work quads. Squats are going to work quads. Deadlifts work quads a little bit. Maybe an RDL, definitely a reverse hyper, right? People forget that. They'll do hip thrusts. Hip thrusts work quads. Look at the movement. Quads are in a lengthened position, and then they do move some. They're getting work. Jason, barbell hip thrust definitely hit the quads. Yeah. Hello, what body fat do you think? Dean, I can't look at that picture because I'm doing cardio. I'd have to check it out later when I can sit down and actually look. I'm terrible with that sometimes, by the way. The bigger the dump truck, the better. I mean, glutes are always going to be king. Sports, everything else. But you can build glutes with your other movements. You don't have to. I said you build big glutes from squats, deadlifts, all your other stuff. I've never used an air fryer. I don't own one. They look too small to do any real cooking. Rick Thompson says girls love my booty. Women usually like glutes. Yeah. Hey, Alma, we have to get rid of all sexually explicit stuff. It hurts my algorithm and money. So I have to ban you. Sorry. No offense, but you guys knew that rule already. I told you guys that already. So you have to go. It makes more money if I ban you. Jason, hip thrust, I honestly treat like a primary exercise and got me. I mean, I think that the hip thrust can be a good exercise. I don't see an issue with you doing that. Right? Air fryers all look really small. How are you guys cooking enough food? Those things look tiny. How you're doing that stuff. Bros, I'd be cutting right now 2 pounds a week on 3,000 calories. I need to check my gym. I can't reverse hyper, but I think I saw a hip thrust thingy. Well, they aren't tiny. Oh, the ones I saw were. Maybe I'm not understanding. My best of good form is 550 for 6 reps plus a long hold at the top of the last. That's pretty solid for hip thrusts. That's with a barbell, right? It's not the machines. On a barbell, that's solid. Those machines, I think they're not that accurate. Yeah, that's really good, actually. Like, that's actually a really solid hip thrust. Like, definitely up there. You probably do have big glutes. Then. I can't see you not having big glutes with a hip thrust that strong. Right? You'd be an exception. Air fryers are very easy and convenient but small. I think that's the point, Steve. So if someone, all right, this guy was over here balling talking about his Amex cards. You see my Amazon wish list, send me an air fryer. All right, I really struggle with the machine. I'm 6'4", with very long legs, so I can't fit into the machine. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Morning, bro. What's up, Sag? We're doing good, man. The morning's almost over. It's like 11:36. All right. All right. Yeah, I'm sure you do. I mean, you can hip thrust for 6s with 550. You're going to have glutes. No, I cook my chicken. I bake my chicken in the oven on roasting trays. And I buy a normal, regular chicken breast. All right. There we go. The views are coming up finally. HMBs, what do you mean the hype? There is no hype. HMB is known to not really work. What do you mean hype? There's no hype. I don't think anyone thinks it works. What kind of philanthropy? These days, no. All right. I have in the past, but I'm not going to discuss it. Like, I keep my philanthropy private. Big glutes could, okay. Top 3 muscles a girl notice in your opinion, like every girl. Glutes, your V taper, so your shoulder width. I think they notice forearms. You're out in a shirt. Hey, coach, what factors would make your program pillar rows versus barbell rows? I don't know, Chad. It just depends on what I'm doing with the client and what they're trying to achieve. I think mainly Pendlay rows for people who need just more explosiveness. If they just want a thick back, well, I'll just do normal barbell rows these days. Jason, how do you train again? You have ultra sore quads and glutes from the previous. You just train. How do you train? You walk in and you train. What do you mean? How? You just do it. Right? I don't understand the how. That's a weird question to me. What do you mean? You treat it like a normal session. You go in and you do it. So what? Your program calls for it. You do it. All right? What's not that difficult? Who's using a bike? What are we talking about? All right. Well, what's the strength of average Egyptian? I don't know. If I hit lower body super hard, I'm going to go on hikes the next day. Right? I mean, I do heavy squats and deadlifts and stuff, and you guys see me still doing my hours of cardio, fasted still. So I don't see the problem here. But then my mom keeps asking weird questions. I have no clue what the strength of the average Egyptian who built the pyramids was. I prefer not to do that. What, to go hikes? Why? Keep the likes, guys. We're getting really good views, but the likes are like non-existent. Could y'all help a brother out here? Come on now, get those likes up. Come on, there we go. Like button, like button. We're getting solid views winding in here. We're not getting the likes. That'll get more people in here. Do you think ice baths are stupid? SAG, I debunked ice baths before the studies. If you remember, I was outspoken saying it's a really bad, really dumb idea. It's going to hurt your muscle growth. I said that like 8 years ago. Then studies came out and said ice baths reduce muscle growth. All right. Do you know how I knew that? Because I've taken basic biology. All right, coach, what is your thinking when it comes to an 80-hour week and little no time off? That's what I do right now. All right, cardio blood flow stuff on a rest day versus sleeping, laying down total rest. What the heck? I haven't had a rest. I don't do rest days anymore. I do list cardio every day. So Jason, the ancient Egyptians were probably weak. Yeah, they probably weren't very strong. Yeah, they weren't going to be jacked. They didn't have food. They were malnourished. They were slaves, I think. All right, what are you talking about? What are your thoughts on turkey bacon? Why are you eating refined garbage like that? That was my thinking. Well, we got to make money. So, Steve, throw me more money then. Like if you don't you think that's not great, then and you're balling like you were talking about, then send Coach some money. All right, there we go. Ice baths can be good for the athletes when they don't care about. No, they don't improve. Why are you guys think they were improving in recovery? You don't have evidence of any of this. Just stop. They're not good for athletes at all. You're going to need more steroids to counteract them. Jason, why do people think ancient and Stone Age humans were freak athletes? I don't know why they think they were. Bunch of malnourished 120-pound dudes were not freak athletes. They had to be active to survive. I get that, but they weren't like stronger and faster necessarily than modern athletes today. Absolutely not. People have strange ideas, like with no evidence behind it. Oh, well, they had to be better, so let's do this, whatever came in. And they don't even go look at what paleo people actually ate. The Egyptians had massive amounts of slave labor. They didn't need to be strong individually. They had thousands and thousands of them. They reduce inflammation. Hey, Gio, I don't think they do improve recovery. Blood flow, you're restricting blood flow. The whole idea is really dumb. Neanderthals are undoubtedly stronger, but that's genetics and structure. Yes, Neanderthals were stronger than humans. They also didn't survive the Ice Age other than through being bred out. Well, Steve, I don't like your attitude. So you keep saying stuff like that and talking about balling, and you're going to do that. I'm just going to get rid of you. We don't need this nonsense. You didn't even donate money after you bragged about balling. And then you don't like my grind. You can get out. Coach, thoughts on incorporating resistance and arm exercise into novice suit 2.0? I mean, you could, yeah. It's not a horrible idea. I don't know how much Neanderthal DNA I have. Given the region of the world I'm from, it could be as much as 4%, though. Right? Based on the data we have, the average. Should a 20-year-old care about saturated fat? Yeah, they should. Everyone should care about their amount of saturated fat. That atherosclerosis is going to be accumulating in your 20s. It's going to hit you later. So yeah, you should care about it. Atherosclerosis accumulates over your whole life. So yes, what you do in your 20s will impact you. So yes, you should absolutely care. Is it maybe if you're 20, you don't think you're going to get old one day? Well, you are. How much think legs or arms or upper body's pretty strong? The flexibility of your hips, F up your ability to be injury resistant powerlifting. I don't know about that. Does TRT? TRT generally doesn't know. TRT often improves your lipid profile. So now, if you meant something besides TRT, you need to state what you meant. No, I've not seen evidence that TRT does anything but improve lipid profiles for most men. So did you actually mean TRT, or did you mean that as a code for something else? It's not TRT. So you should be very specific. Yeah, Gio, I'm going to completely disagree on the ice bath being useful for recovery. I'm just going to call bullshit. Sorry. I'm just going to call it like it is. I'm just going to call bullshit. All right. As far as ice baths reducing inflammation or helping with recovery at all, you're reducing blood flow. Just know. TRT, yeah, of course. You didn't know that? You don't realize TRT literally improves health? Should we try to get LDL? I mean, reasonably low, yeah. I think it's at 70 because you have no atherosclerosis at 70 or less ever. None accumulates. 80 is pretty decent, though. So if someone had low testosterone and their doctor was giving them 200 milligrams, which is, you said TRT, so the doctor is prescribing them 200 milligrams to get them back up into the normal range. Okay. And then they suddenly have low testosterone. Yes, their LDL may go up. Their HDL may go down too. Right? Yeah, it does happen. We know their risk of stroke and heart attack goes up 30% based on the data. We have pretty good epidemiology on that one. So TRT reduces stroke and heart attack rates by around 30%. Right? I got mine done a couple years ago, but I was not fasted and eating more fat, and my diet by LDL was 80. 80's pretty decent, honestly. Might not be optimal, but you're in a pretty good place, to be fair. Like, it's not like a major concern at all. Like, it's in the healthy range. Optimal, like ideal, perfect would be 70 or under. Now, gear is generally not going to make it bigger. Some of them can make it fuller while you're on them, but I love fat diet now, so I bet it probably is, depending on the nature of the fat. I mean, some fats lower it. Coach, for your novice 2.0, if someone has to train back-to-back days and can't take a rest day between, is it better to just switch to another program? No, I mean, if they have to, they have to. They're still getting a lot of recovery through the week. Someone said IGF-1. IGF-1 does crazy stuff. It might have. Right? I don't know. I don't think it's worth it, though. Like, then again, I wouldn't know. I don't know what it's like to have average size or smaller. So maybe some guys are more worried about it. Can't say I've ever sat around worried about it. So I was eating more nuts, egg, etc. It was a bit heavier, fatter. Okay. Yeah, but nuts can actually lower LDL, to be fair, Jay, in case you weren't aware. Blaha, thoughts on using the Dark Knight Rises? I mean, whatever you need for inspiration. About organ enlargement. What organ enlargement are you talking about? So you're talking about, you keep mentioning TRT. If your doctor is giving you 200 and you're in the normal range with it, what are you worried about? Yeah. So I don't see what you're getting at here. What organ enlargement? I still eat walnuts with my Greek yogurt mixed with blueberries and cinnamon. Yeah, it's probably helpful there, honestly. Get those likes up, guys. We didn't get enough likes. This one's not going to be nearly as good as the last one. Didn't get the views. People didn't engage. We have all these comments and 7 likes. So, unfortunately, it won't be as good as the last stream. Oh, well. If you get into men's, probably don't want to give men's sex health advice. It can get unmonetized really quickly, and it's not worth it to me. Not with all my long-term stuff. It's just not worth it. Rick? Absolutely not worth it to me. Yeah, we just attract weird people like him. Exactly, we just attract weirdos. He's already typing weird stuff. Yeah, how late am I? You're pretty late, man. We're almost done with all the cardio for the day, Justin. But hit that like button for me. The more likes, the better, guys. But yeah, I agree, Jay. It just gets weirdos in. And I don't need all that nonsense. Do you think saunas have any benefit? Yeah, I mean, heat improves blood flow. Heat can, in theory, help with recovery. I think relaxation's big, but it might have a little bit due to just the heat. Heat improving blood flow might help with recovery. That's about it. Right? Anything that improves blood flow. Of course, Coach, I'm saving up this summer for your coaching. Awesome, Justin. Awesome, man. I don't know what the ultimate diet for EQ is. What do you mean? For equipoise? How much a month usually? What, coaching? My coaching is $250 a month. Have you seen the over under on benching 315 and sub 200 body weight? What? I don't understand your question. Please ask it a different way. Do you do bedroom consults? Not really, no. No, I don't think there's a diet for that. Be lean, be fit. Don't have high blood pressure, don't have high cholesterol. Like atherosclerosis and high blood pressure are not good for it. Right? What's a great strength standard for barbell curls? I don't know. Because moment arms vary so much, I don't think we can set strength standards on it. My only issue with these saunas at the gym is they attract a lot of guys. Why are we jumping into this crazy? Jay, I'm gonna have to get rid of you. Like, why are we jumping into these conversations when you guys know it hurts my outreach and my money? It's like, are you guys just trying to screw me? So I'm going to delete your comment and not ban you because you've been a really positive poster. But we got to chill with some of this. I'm probably going to have to get rid of this Rick Thompson guy too. All right. Over, under, meaning the odds someone can bench 315 at 200 less body weight. I mean, I don't know what the odds are. I have no idea what the odds are on that. Why judge gym goers? Huh? All right. All right. Oh. How do I fix my grip to not get a big bicep issue on the deadlift? Lock your elbows. Mixed. Lock your elbows. That's it. Lock your elbows. Do not have any elbow bend. Make sure you pull the slack out of the bar before you pull. Marty, it has nothing to do with offending me. I'm not offended. Marty, you could say the kinkiest thing in the world. It's not going to offend me. What I'm concerned with is my algorithm and outreach and my monetization. Does that make sense? You're attacking my pocketbook. Bro, you could talk about whatever crazy kinky stuff you want and you're probably not going to offend me. Like me personally, I'm not going to be offended, but get your hand out of my pocket. Get your hand out of my bank account. That's what I got a problem with. Yeah, exactly. I knew what you were, but let's get you out of here. How much would you bet that you can bench? I've benched 315 at 200 before. Yeah. Mixed, I have tutorials on that. Because you prefer leggings or sweats, what do you mean? Benched it in my 20s, right? I'll probably bench it again here when I cut down. I was able to bench 315 at like 203 last time I was there. What are you talking about? So when I get down leaner in this cut, I'll go bench 315 before you're done. All right? How strong can someone get at 200 pounds? There is no set number. It varies massively. We need to get lean AF and shove the haters. That's what I'm doing. Just keep cutting. All right. So here, I'm at 213 now. I can probably rep 315. Let me keep finishing my cut, and then we'll do a 315 bench at 200. All right. Flexi-back shorts. I mean, yeah, I wear running shorts. I think younger men should avoid slow stuff. What do you mean? What do you mean mixed? Younger men should avoid slow. What are you determining as slow stuff? All right. Okay. Well, who are you betting? Who's taking you up on that bet back by data? All right. Like base building. What? Yeah, mixed. I have no clue what you're asking me, dude. But yeah, you should be base building. What are you talking about? You should be building a base training. Yeah, mixed. I don't really understand what you're asking me, man. You're asking questions I just don't get. Sorry. No offense intended. So we're going to finish this cardio up. I'm going to go get a quick shower. And then coach going to get breakfast. Did a full body workout, 2 hours of fasted cardio. We earned those carbs. But we have a few more minutes left. What do you call? I don't know. I have no idea what that's called. It's just me flexing my quad and my calf. I've been up 5 hours. I've been up since about 4 a.m. Does you think Julius Maddox at something like 430 pounds will lose 100 pounds and not? No, he'll lose bench strength. Right? Barbell curls, preacher curls, and incline curls was a trio of the old timers. Funny how they were still considered the best bicep exercise, right? Don't worry about, no, next time I'm going to disagree with that. Yeah, you should care about your body composition all the way. What are you talking about? Like, there's no bet up anywhere on that. Just stop. Just stop with your nonsense. You're just making up crazy town stuff. There's a bet somewhere. No, there's not. All right. All right. Oh. What else we got going, guys? Let's get some interesting conversation for the last few minutes. Let's get something worthwhile going. Justin, coach, on my way to McDonald's. Yeah, how about you don't do that, dude? Don't eat that. Can you do, hey, Mix, you've already outed yourself again. Funny question, but do primal screams during your workouts? No, I'm pretty calm when I work out. You see my training, dude. You see my training all the time. I'm super chill even on maxes. All right. Those are pretty much all you need. Everything else is just variation. I mean, I'm messing with dumbbells some too, but yeah, those pretty much get it done. You can't argue with those three, can you, for results? You really can't argue them. I need to do some incline curls again. Thoughts on Keno body? I don't know that I have thoughts on Greg these days, honestly. To me, that's Greg. So when people start mentioning Greg, they mean Doucette. I'm thinking Keno body. I'm old school. Greg is newer to the tubes. Greg Doucette. Have you set a mental scheme of how many exercises and sets? Yeah, I do. But I have a minimum, and then I do some extra bonus. I have 6 baseline, but then if I have the energy, I'll do up to 2 more. Right? Coach, what's the purpose of knee sleeves? They aren't just as bad. Well, they're not as strong as life. The purpose of knee sleeves is to lift a little more weight. Big, I don't want to discuss it again. We covered it at the start of every single stream. We covered it already here, dude. I already had a long talk. I don't have enough time left to cover it again. You know, so go back and watch the start of the stream, right? So big dog, just watch the start of the stream, go back and rewind it. I had like a several minute conversation early on. No, I covered it already. No, go back and watch it. Just mindset, not research at all. So go back and watch. It's all been said already in here. It's already been recorded. Let's get rid of this weirdo. All right. All right. So I already know this guy. Let's get rid of him too. It's just as bad as wraps. Where's the weight for you? No, it's not as bad. The wraps are definitely more aggressive. Right? It's just weaker wraps. That's the way to describe it. So you can't say it's as bad when it literally isn't. It's the same idea, just scaled down, right? That's like saying 100 is as bad as 50. Well, no, 100 is twice as much as 50. Right? Who got deleted? I got rid of the nonsense. We got rid of the clowns. All right. Had to get rid of them. Save says that. No, they don't. Dude, McDonald's is just junk food. You'll get your atherosclerosis jacked. Why does Dave need that? Just pin your hormones. What's he talking about? And why are you? I don't really do sleeves that often. Oh, knee wraps actually cause injuries. Like I'm convinced, based on even data, knee wraps actually cause knee damage. That makes sense. Knee sleeves, probably not so much, but they're still kind of cheating a little bit, just not as extreme a cheating. Makes sense, Chad? If I got to have it my way, they would still be banned in raw powerlifting, but I don't get to have it my way. I don't know if Greg Valentina's still around. Yep. Yep. I have no clue if Greg Valentino's still around, honestly. All right, guys, we finished up the cardio. Time for me to wind this down, get a quick shower, get my breakfast. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.